Hi, I'm Amy Vernon. I'm here today in Detroit with the IBM Think Roadshow, here with VentureBeat and IBM. And right now we're talking with Corey from RoadLaunch. And Corey, would you please fully introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what RoadLaunch is?
Sure thing, yeah. So, hi everyone, my name is Corey Skinner. I'm the founder and CEO of RoadLaunch. And RoadLaunch is smart digital freight. So what that means is that we have a platform that allows shippers and carriers to connect in a way that's very simple yet sophisticated.
Well, tell me a little bit about your background and how and why you launched RoadLaunch.
Yeah, sure.
Been waiting to say
No,
that.
it's a good way to say it. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, so I spent a whole bunch of time, over a decade or more, in the enterprise space. So a lot of supply chain focused, think demand planning and enterprise systems for inventory optimization. And then a few years back, I realized that there was a real opportunity to connect enterprise systems with logistics supply chain. So think an order and then the visibility of the order all the way to where a truck is in real time.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I started the company, roughly about a year ago.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
a young company.
Very new.
So had you worked with IBM before, or was RoadLaunch the first time you?
RoadLaunch was the first time. I did get a chance to work with IBM previously in a corporate capacity, but for my own company, first time. And so we graduated from a couple of accelerators, and one of those accelerators introduced us to the IBM Global Entrepreneurship Program. Oh, wow. That turned into, hey, we can use Watson, hey, we can use the IoT, and now we're working on blockchain for logistics.
Oh,
So,
you know, I was just thinking, I definitely wanted to get to that. But
Yeah.
this leads very well into my next question, which was, I wondered if you could tell me a little bit about how Watson helps you make your data and the AI accessible.
yeah. I mean, it's an amazing thing. You got to think, like, if you're in transportation and logistics, it's just a whole bunch of moving parts. What should be very linear and simple is pretty complicated. It's messy. So we use Watson to allow things like just the integration of, I have an order number or a document number, like a bill of lading. I can now type it into our system using Watson, and we can find exactly where that is and all the traceability of where it was and where it's going. And we can do that in like a couple questions. So pretty cool. Yeah.
So how are you using the Watson APIs overall? Obviously, that's one example.
Yeah, so we use it in a few ways. The Watson Studio allows us to do natural language processing, natural language understanding, and then we wrap all that around now the whole process of quote to order, and then from order all the way to transit and delivery. And now people can say, well, where did my docks go? Where is my freight? Where's my truck? And then we can now wrap all that in a way that it's completely decentralized and immutable.
So how do you enable your customers? What does this make it possible for your customers to do?
Think about the process. Like if you need to source a truck today, you open up your web browser and you say, are there any carriers in this city, say Detroit? And even if you find a list of 100 of them, you now got to figure out a way to contact them all. And then figure out, are they the right one? Are they even available?
Right.
Well, we can take that whole process of 6 to 8 hours and do it, like have it so you do the whole process in like 30 seconds. And then,
nice.
And it's not so bad. And then you actually secure it. And then now it's a piece of furniture like this table that's going across the US into Canada, wherever. And if you want to know where it is, it's a question. That's all it is. And now with blockchain, when we get to the end and we put all that on a very centralized, a centralized set of steps, but a decentralized platform,
Right.
we now have the ability for them to not only ask that question, but actually have settlement and all the processes around credit-based capital flow instantaneously.
Oh, wow.
So you can trust them just like you trust the person to come and pick you up from your phone.
Right.
First time ever. Pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how do you enable your customers? What does that look like for them?
Yeah, good question. Think about it. You have a couple of parties and they need to move stuff across the world. And that could be pretty complicated. So what we like to do is take the IBM Cloud, couple that with IBM for blockchain. And now what we can do is we can centralize or take all the complexity out of the whole process. And so an example like a shipping company, the joint venture with Maersk is perfect because when that shipping container leaves, say Europe, and it's now across the ocean and it's landing in the US or Canada or wherever, when that truck backs up to get that freight container, RoadLaunch is there. And so we're speaking the same language as Maersk. And so now you can ask one question, see all the docs, see full traceability, and now all of a sudden that complex, messy process isn't so daunting anymore.
So what's next? What's next for RoadLaunch?
So right now we're finishing up our next generation transportation management system, our TMS. We're almost done with our proof of concept for that Hyperledger, the IBM blockchain platform component.
Right.
And we should be bringing it to market in about 4, maybe 6 weeks. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's fun. After that, at the same time, we're doing a bunch of these other road shows, which is great. Gets a chance to get out there and talk a little bit. And
definitely.
we're going to have a good year.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for stopping in.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay.